Welcome to This Explainer. If you're a busy working parent who sometimes feels like you are just stuck on a treadmill that literally never stops, well, I want you to listen closely. Today, we're looking at some absolutely incredible insights from Boulanger and Nong's work, Power of the Table. We're going to explore a really simple, brilliant, and powerful solution to a problem so many of us face: family disconnection. I am a guest in my own home. My children don't know me. Just let that sink in for a second. That was the devastating realization of a hardworking, middle-aged dad. He worked from the afternoon until the early hours of the morning just to provide for his family. And in doing so, he realized he had basically become nothing more than a middleman between his kids' financial needs and their achievements. We all feel that exhaustion and that heavy guilt at times, right? We work tirelessly to provide a better life, but sometimes, we completely forget to stop and actually experience that life together. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda for today. We'll cover the modern parent's dilemma, the power of the table, some startling family dinner facts, the Together framework, and finally, setting your family vision. Part 1, the modern parent's dilemma. It's kind of the ultimate modern catch-22. If we don't work long hours, what happens to our family's quality of life? But if we do put in those hours, they end up being the sum total of our active, conscious lives, and we slip into what we can basically call zombie mode. Even when we're physically at home, a smartphone beeps and suddenly, boom, we're totally absent. We end up missing out on those quirky, beautiful, fleeting moments. The author shares this brilliant little story of offering her 2-year-old daughter a sip of Coca-Cola, only for the toddler to boldly and hilariously declare, "I doesn't like it." Those small, grammatically incorrect, highly opinionated moments, those are the real teaching moments. Those are the deep connection moments. And zombie mode makes us miss them entirely. Moving on to part 2, the power of the table. So how do we escape this dilemma? Well, we can start by contrasting our highly distracted, fast-paced lives with the physical, grounded presence of an ordinary piece of four-legged furniture sitting right there in your dining room. Think about it for a second. What feeling do you actually get as you draw closer to your front door after a long day? Do you feel giddy with excitement, or do you take a deep breath and tell yourself, okay, I will survive this? Historically, tables have always anchored human connection. From the ancient Egyptians using elevated playing boards, to the Romans dining together, right up to our modern coffee shops and boardrooms, the table dictates our behavior. It literally draws us together into a shared physical space. In fact, your table is a pretty accurate reflection of your family's current strength. A bare, dusty table gathering cobwebs, that's a massive indicator of neglect. But a warm, well-used, maybe slightly scuffed-up wooden table, that reveals a family that is actively investing in healthy relationships. It shows a family where scribble time, homework, and really deep conversations are actually taking place. All right, part 3, startling family dinner facts. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this isn't just some warm, fuzzy, emotional argument. There is hard, unyielding data behind this. Listen to this wake-up call. According to data from Columbia University, teenagers who do not eat dinner frequently with their family face some really severe risks. They're twice as likely to use tobacco and alcohol, and far more likely to use marijuana. Plus, data from the OECD shows that globally, school absenteeism averages around 15%, but that number absolutely skyrockets to nearly 30% when pupils report they don't regularly share meals with their parents. Truancy literally doubles. But hey, look at the flip side. The positive impact is just as profound. Teenagers who have 5 to 7 family dinners per week are significantly more likely to get A's and B's in school. Compare that to those having fewer than 3 dinners, who are actually twice as likely to report mostly C's and lower. The dinner table is so much more than just a place to consume calories. It's a profound molding and formation time for our youth. Which brings us to part 4, the Together framework. This is the most exciting part, how we actually put this into practice. You as moms and dads are absolutely the best parents for your children, and you can maximize this time by using a highly actionable toolkit. Enter the Together framework. It acts as our structured master plan to guide and maximize every single family mealtime. The full acronym stands for TALK, Open, Games, Eat, Traditions, Help, Engage, and Respect. Today, we're going to dive really deep into those first 5 crucial pillars so you can see exactly how this works. The first T is for talk. Every conversation, whether you're debating the absolute best flavor of potato chips, discussing some racial segregation you saw on a TV show, or talking about applying to college, it needs to happen at this table. Teenagers don't just suddenly stop talking overnight, It's a gradual process of feeling unheard until they finally just shut down entirely. The table is the perfect platform to keep those communication lines permanently open. Next up is O for open. Having an open table environment is quite possibly the greatest gift a parent can give. When every family member knows for sure that they're free to speak, ask for advice, or honestly just cry on a shoulder, it builds immense trust. And really importantly, it thwarts secrecy. Child predators and bullies rely completely on secrecy and isolation. So an open family policy at the table is a crucial daily defense against that darkness. G is for games. Play is literally the language of children. When you finish eating, don't just scatter to different rooms. Extend that dinner time joyously. The author shares this brilliant anecdote about a hat game they played at Bounce Waterfalls. Everyone writes down answers to prompts like, if I were an animal, I'd be, or if I could have dinner with one person. You put the answers in a hat, pull them out, and guess who wrote what. It turned total strangers into deeply connected allies. Just imagine what that kind of laughter and discovery can do for your own family. E stands for eat. Food is a universal binder. Sharing a meal naturally relaxes the whole family and engenders a deep sense of love and belonging. And get this, it even helps with picky eaters. There's this wonderful monkey see, monkey do community effect that happens when kids see everyone else eating the exact same thing. They're far more likely to try new foods just by being part of that group dynamic. And the second T is for traditions. These are the rules and routines handed down that bring incredible stability, joy, and security to a child's life. Really lean into your family's quirky traditions. The author's family actually has a tickles time that they all absolutely love. Whether it's a super specific morning routine or just a funny way you greet each other, creating these traditions builds a secure, lifelong bank of memories for your kids to draw from. And once you've mastered these first 5, you naturally pave the way for the final 3 pillars: help, engage, and respect. And finally, part 5, setting your family vision. So the crucial point is, we have the framework, but how do we actually apply it? It's time to stop moaning about our family's current state, stop feeling helpless, and start taking deliberate, focused action. Because the hard truth is, whatever you nurture will grow, and whatever you starve will eventually die. Healthy relationships do not just spontaneously happen by accident. They are the direct product of intentional focus and dedicated time. So here are the actionable steps to start nurturing right now. First, be deliberate about your mealtimes. Second, make a ceremony of it. And look, it doesn't have to be a fancy meal. It's just about celebrating the time you have together. And third, use this time to actively pass on your values. The author uses a really fantastic metaphor here. We aren't just making dinner. We are literally cooking the values, traditions, and memories of our family's future. Think about it like cooking. Just like a recipe requires very specific ingredients. I mean, the ingredients for a simple mealy meal are vastly different from the ingredients for a complex chicken lasagna, right? Your family needs a clear, intentional vision to thrive. What do you actually want your family to look like? Do you want to be an intellectual family? A highly open, communicative family? A wildly fun family? You have to choose your ingredients deliberately. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to carry with you tonight. What are you cooking in your kitchen of life? Take a hard look at the ingredients you're pouring into your home today. Because starting tonight, you have the absolute power to pull up a chair, gather your loved ones, and completely transform your family's future right at the table.